Sorry, we just had a fresh snowfall here, so not really a snowfall, fresh dusting, I should say. So you're going to hear a lot of the snow crunching as I walk here. Let's look at the whole idea, the whole concept of retirement. So you get to a point where you don't have to work anymore. Okay, that is great. That's what financial freedom is all about, isn't it? Basically, get up when you want, you spend time with whoever you want, you don't have to worry about bills and all that sort of stuff. I think there's a little more to it than that. Like, what are you going to do? Really, I mean, you're not just, I hope that you're just not going to spend your days retired and then sitting around watching Netflix all the time. You know, what are your days going to look like? When are you going to get up? When are what's your routine going to be like? Are you going to get up and exercise? You're going to get up and, go for a walk? Are you going to go down to the coffee shop and go and chat with your other retired friends every day? I mean, stuff like that. I mean, who are you going to spend time with? Are you going to travel? Are you going to have the money to travel? Are you going to do some work? Or are you going to just kind of pick up a little bit of side work every now and then, just whenever you want, just for a little extra spending money or some travel money, things like that. There's people out there that I know that are able to retire. They're in the financial position to retire in the traditional sense, and they're not. There's people I know that are on a company pension, full defined benefit pension, and they have reached their, what they call the magic number. So they're able to go at full pension, and they stay. I think that is, I can't fathom why. For some, I know, and I've talked to them. I said, well, why don't you go? You're crazy to stay. What's going on? And they say, well, I don't know what I would do with my time. My dad gave me a piece of advice, and he said, don't wait too long to start saving for your retirement, and because that way you don't have to wait until 65 like he had to, is what he told me. He said you can probably look at retiring at, when you're in your mid-40s or your early 50s, and that way it's almost like adding time onto your life. Like you're able to enjoy some of your best years for a much longer period of time, at much sooner. You don't have to work yourself to the bone until the end, because you work for your whole career, and then you get to a point where you're old, and then you can't enjoy your money. Life is just too short, and I think a person has to think beyond work. The retirement age of 65 was determined, I think, close to 100 years ago, and it was determined at 65 because it was when the whole idea of government pensions were starting to come out, and they had to have it set up so that more people were paying into it than taking out of it. Otherwise, the whole system would collapse. Could happen. So they picked the age of 65 because the life expectancy for most people was not anywhere near 65. It was much earlier when the typical person was dying. So it was very common for men to die in their mid 40s at that point. So yeah, they picked 65 because very few people got there. We're trained to go to school, get a job, and keep working at that job until you have enough money saved up so that you can, I guess, pay for your retirement, pay for a time where you're not going to work. And then what? Most people don't know what they're going to do when they retire, so they don't give it any thought. And also when you're younger too, it's very easy to just not even worry about it, because it's something that seems so far off, and that, why worry about it? And then you hit your 40s, and it's like, oh, geez, I don't want to be working forever. So then you start thinking about retirement. Well, it gets a lot harder at that point. Also, too, there's people that, they made some mistakes along the way. Hey, I've made a mistake or two along the way, and they're not going to retire in the conventional sense with the money saved up and all that sort of thing. For me, I think that what retirement looks like, well, I've had a chance to sample it now for a little while, and build a daily routine out of it. start, experimenting with some business ideas and some side hustles and things like that. This whole YouTube channel is an experiment. It's one of those experiments, and I wouldn't have had the chance to do it, such as it is, for if I hadn't really taken this opportunity. What I've done is, I've built a routine. I get up pretty early, typically between 4 and 5 o'clock, and start to just kind of putter around a little bit in the morning, just do a little bit of, work on some ideas and do some journaling, do some, kind of scan around in my mind and brainstorm a little bit, which is probably how this channel came about. Part of my morning routine involves some stretching, so do that. Start off the day with hot water, lemon, apple cider vinegar. Don't know why, but it's for me, it's a nice way to start the day. So I'll still have coffee a little later, but that first drink of hot water, lemon, and apple cider kind of helps to get the body into motion, I guess. I don't know. I'll get out and go for a walk, about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Some mornings I'll record a video, and other times I'll just go for a quiet walk by myself. Sometimes I'll put the earbuds in and maybe listen to an audiobook or a podcast. So I'll do that for about an hour or so, and then shower, have some coffee. If I've got some work that came in, I'll do some of that work. In the afternoons, I typically like to go for, in the summertime I'll go for a bike ride. Here in the wintertime I'll go for a walk, and then maybe sometimes take a nap, and then in the evenings kind of wind down, plan out the next day. Try to get my head on the pillow by about 9:30, and then get up and go for it again the next day. And it's something that I've enjoyed. If I was fully retired and didn't have a care in the world when it came to money and things like that, I would definitely travel more. I'd be road tripping a lot more. I like to go about every 3 months, do a little quarterly retreat, as I call it, and just kind of spend a little time in a cabin, or just kind of get out of town for a little bit, just by myself, and just kind of, think about the world, think about everything. And every now and then my wife and I will go out, we'll have our own little kind of getaway, and we'll do that. And then some more trips. I mean, this is a big country that we're in here in Canada. There's a lot to explore. I mean, I've had the chance to go across it, been in most of the provinces except for one, and I've kind of dipped into 2 out of 3 territories. So there's definitely some more to explore. We've left a lot on the table for the future. Definitely some things to think about when it comes to retirement, when it comes to your own retirement, and what are you going to do? So I'm interested to hear what some of your plans are. Do you plan to retire at 65, or do you plan to retire much sooner? I'm hoping for you it's much sooner if you're able to. And what are you looking to do to make that happen? So share your thoughts on that. In the meantime, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. You all take care. Stay warm. It's a chilly one out here. So stay warm, and bye for now.